Good afternoon, students. Now today we discuss about few things which was left in the last class. At first, to discuss about the conservation of charge. We have already the idea about the quantization of charge. In last class we have discussed about it. Now the conservation of charge, that means the total algebraic sum of the charge in an isolated system is remain constant. What is the meaning of it? Suppose two body A and B, they make an isolated system, and as a whole, suppose A has the 2 coulomb charge and B has the 5 coulomb charge. So what is the total charge? 2 plus 5 is equal to 7 coulomb charge. So at any condition, this 7 coulomb charge for that isolated system will remain same. The charge may be transferred from one body to another body, but that should be within that system, not outside of that system. So total charge was 7 coulomb in that isolated system, and that charge will be 7 coulomb. So simply you can say the total charge of any isolated system is constant. This is the conservation of charge. Sodium and chlorine, one example. When sodium and chlorine combine and they produce the sodium chloride, NaCl. How? At first sodium, we take one sodium atom. We know that that atom is the neutral, and we take one chlorine atom, that is also neutral. So if you put that sodium and chlorine inside in a box, suppose this box is an isolated system. So what is the total charge of the sodium and chlorine? 0. Because the sodium also the neutral and the chlorine also neutral, so the total charge of the system including the that means consists of sodium and chlorine, that is 0. Now when the sodium combined with chlorine, actually what happened? Na, sodium, that release one electron and it becomes positively charged, Na plus. And the chlorine absorbs that electron and it becomes Cl minus ion. So sodium becomes positively charged ion, and chlorine becomes negatively charged ions, and they combine and they produce the NaCl. So what is the total charge of now the NaCl? Again 0. Sodium, suppose sodium ion, that is suppose plus 1, then chlorine minus, that is minus 1, so again plus minus 1 is equal to 0. So before they react, the total charge of the sodium and chlorine was 0, and after they react, when they form the sodium chloride, again the total charge becomes 0. But here electron is transferred from sodium to chlorine, but the total charge remains same. This is the conservation of charge. The total charge of an isolated system remain constant. This is the conservation of charge. Another things, that is the additive properties of charge. Additive properties of charge. What is that meaning of that additive properties of the charge? Additive properties of the charge means, suppose to any body, suppose this is an object, this is a system. I give this, I give 2 kilometers to this, another one 3 coulomb, another one give 1 coulomb, another one give minus 2, another one suppose x, y, anything. So what is the total charge? The algebraic sum of all the charge is the charge of this body. You may give the different charge, but the resultant charge of this body will be the algebraic sum of all the charge. Suppose I give to this body plus 5 coulomb charge, another one give the body minus 2 coulomb charge. So what is the resultant? Plus 5 minus 2 is equal to plus 3 coulomb charge. Suppose I give it to plus 2 coulomb charge, another one 3 coulomb charge, another one give 1 coulomb charge. So what is the resultant charge? 2 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 6 coulomb charge. That is, the additive properties of the charge means when the charge is given to any body, the resultant charge of the body is the algebraic sum of all the charges. This is the additive properties of charge. Now when I discuss about that induction and the conduction, the process of charging of a body. So write 2 questions from that portion, only 2 questions, very simple question. You just apply your, that means knowledge, whichever you gain from my lecture, and then you try to solve. Only 2 questions. First question is, induction is occurred before attraction. I repeat once more. Induction is occurred before attraction. Explain this sentence. And next one. What is the bound charge and free charge of an object when it is charged by the process of induction? Clear is it? What is the free charge and bound charge of an object when it is charged by the process of induction? You just apply your knowledge. Free charge, bound charge. Bound means something is what? Bound, free, that can move easily from the process of the induction. You just use that and solve these 2 questions. Okay, now we go for the next topics. That is Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law means, what is actually the law? Because one thing, we know there is a force of attraction, maybe the force of repulsion between the 2 charged body. This is that means different things. But how much force will attract? How much force will apply between the 2 charged particles? That is the Coulomb's law. Actually, Coulomb gave us the idea about the force of attraction or repulsion between the 2 charged body when they are placed beside to each other. जब 2 चार्ज बॉडी एक दूसरे के करीब रहेगा तो इस दोनों का अंदर कितना फोर्स अप्लाई होगा, ये कूलॉम्स लॉ ने बताया था. नाउ वी डिस्कस अबाउट दैट.